Hello everyone, Canon Loa here, back with more Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, and since the last time, I have done quite a bit of level grinding. I have gotten all the way to level 114, and I've been focusing on raising my agility and luck with those levels. And I've gotten a few new skills, upgraded to level 3 of quite a few of them, like Trigger Happy I've gotten to level 3, and Speed Form level 3. That required the level 100 and so agility. And also the new DLC is out, what was it? Something of the Nexus? Dissonance of the Nexus or something, I think it was called. And with that update, it has new characters in there. They have Livir, that was in one of the smaller DLCs. And they also added Seven, Yuna, Iji, and Sachi to all of this. And I'm really glad that they added Seven with the skills that she has, because she is literally one of two characters that is considered a support character, as in good with healing and buffing. So she has healing field shot, HP recovery shot, power field, and guard field, and all of these skills that are really good as a support character. The only other support character, and the only one in the base game, is Asuna. So I'm happy that I have more than one choice of support characters now for healing, because I kind of feel like you should have at least one character that is half decent at healing in your party. And I didn't focus my emphasis on being a support character either, so that's what I got. Another thing is that I bought the memory chip editor, which I thought, based on the description, that was more of a PvP thing. But what it actually does is that you can choose any character that is available and change the mods on their various equipment. You can change what their weapon does, which for Asuna, this is the different things that I put on her weapon, her two different weapons, and it takes the mods from your existing weapons that you have. So here you can choose to put on whatever mods you want that are from any weapon that you obtain, or craft yourself if that's what you decide to do. And also you can modify for the weapons anyway. It basically works like how you enhance items. You choose whatever mods you put on her weapons, you enhance them rather than completely removing them. Like the accessories, basically you can only have it. Basically swaps the mods from an accessory. So basically it turns her common no mod item into whatever rarity item that you swapped mods with, and leaves you with the common one. So that is a very interesting mechanic, and I actually really do like this, because it means that all of the items that have decent mods on it but you're just never gonna use, especially the accessories, like I personally choose to use accessories that raise my stats, my different attribute stats, rather than some of these other ones. But I can choose to put on whatever ones I want to the various different characters. The only thing though that means is that if you want to have good mods for every single character, well, I guess you better start item grinding now. So I would personally recommend just choosing, I don't know, like maybe 5 characters that you semi-regularly use and put mods on them. But at the same time, you can switch the accessory mods anyway off of their accessories and switch it to a different character if you want. So that is pretty easy to do. And it also saves inventory space, because all the common accessories that I don't use, I can sell them for a tiny bit of money, and the weapons that you put into the friend's weapons, it actually destroys the item in the process, just like transforming items with Elizabeth. So that's good to know that that you can do that. Something that I discovered. So the various items, the SMGs that I have equipped are, personally, I don't think it has as good of mods as my legendary one, but this is a rank 9 one that I got from the extreme mode Demon Cave, and I noticed that with the crit rate bonus, it has a critical hit rate of over 30%. And this is something also new with the 4th DLC, is that I'm pretty sure you probably get this with the base game as well if you don't choose to get the DLCs, but it actually shows the crit rate and the critical damage multiplier percentage of damage that you would receive. And this is kind of one of those things where it's like, why wasn't that added at the start? I'm glad they're adding it now, but it would have been really nice if they would have had that from the get-go. Because some of these crit rates and crit damage bonuses vary quite a bit. Like, let's just compare the two ones that I had. I was using this one right here, the SPB Paladinium ++, and it only has a crit rate, even with the crit rate bonus on the mods that I have on it, it only has a crit rate chance of 3.74%, and even with the dexterity and luck that I have, that is pretty much non-existent. And the critical damage bonus is only plus 50%, which isn't, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And with this one, it's over 30%, and yeah, this fires roughly 30% slower, but I crit rate more often and I deal more damage, and it even has better accuracy. So that would have been something really nice to know earlier, but it's in the game now. So that was a pretty good change. And also with the friends, the new characters, I pretty much, with level grinding them, grinding my own character, sorry, I raised affinity rank 4 with pretty much all of them. And they actually made affinity extremely easy, almost too easy to gain now, because there's an option in the options menu now that allows you to basically double the rate at which you gain affinity with characters with literally no downside. So literally in one run through a dungeon, you could gain 1 to 1.5 levels of affinity just with one dungeon, depending on how long it is. Like for the Demon Cave, it would probably be at least 1 level of affinity per run through it, especially if you go all the way till the end. So it's almost too easy to level up affinity with characters now. So I'm gonna mentally read some mail just to get it through, and then after that I'm going to try out trying to get a different main ending, because I want to do it sooner rather than later, because as far as I know there's only 3 different endings. I could be wrong, but I think there's only 3 different endings, and the true ending, it's called, you have to gain affinity with the main characters to get them to level 4. So Zaliska, like your Arphasis, Kureha, Zaliska, Itsuki, Basalt Joe, I think all need to be level 4, and then everyone else needs to be level 2+ for the main set of characters. And since I don't have max affinity with them, I'm thinking that I should probably get at least the other ending that I'm thinking of while I don't have them maxed out. So I for sure get those. So I'm gonna mentally read some mail. Pause the video if you think I'm reading too fast, and I'm gonna also go through all of these, even though that they're new DLC characters. And as far as I can tell, well, I don't have Yamakaze leveled up. I don't think Yamakaze, Musketeer X, or Dane at all have any affinity-related cutscenes with them, which is kind of disappointing. So, unless you have to get all three of them maxed out in order to see one, but they weren't even in the affinity list through the house expansion, so unfortunately, as far as I know, there isn't any cutscenes related to these three. And Levere is all, yeah, I mentioned that Levere was one of the new characters. Well, I guess Levere is coming after me because clearly I'm showing this online. It says in the summary of the third main DLC that Levere is basically the antagonist of the first three DLCs, which I kind of wish that it didn't say that in the summary because I've only just met Levere in DLC 2, so that kind of disappoints me, but nothing I can do about it now. So that seems to be all of them. Just a brief mention of where these characters are actually from. Sachi is from the first few episodes of Sword Art Online, the first season. Seven is Rain's sister that appeared in Sword Art Online Lost Song and onwards for the game series. She's a game exclusive character. Yuna and Iji is from the Sword Art Online movie Ordinal Scale. So that is where these are from, and then Levere is a Fatal Bullet exclusive character. Or at least exclusive for now. I honestly have no idea where they're gonna go with the story from here, or if they're going to continue to allow us to make our own characters or just play as Kirito in the next one or not. So, now that we have that done, let's see about getting the different endings, or at least one of them. When it said to go back to save a friend, I have not actually... Well, I don't feel like fighting him. After the first ending, when it said to like go back to save a friend, I haven't tried going in this dungeon at all since then, because I didn't know about how to get the different endings, so I'm not exactly sure how much I'm gonna need to do here. I'm guessing I should probably skip to way up here. Because it just says to go here, it doesn't... I'm guessing I should go to like, the very last part of it, but... And with Speed Form 3, it actually makes your character really quick. Especially once the sprinting gets going. Byronak? Even with these better weapons and the much higher crit chance that I have now, this enemy is pretty tanky. Not doing too bad of damage, of course. Gave me 60,000 XP, that is quite a bit. While I was level grinding, I noticed that whenever you fight bosses, especially in extreme mode, you gain roughly over 100,000 experience, so they definitely give you a lot more experience. Okay, so get whatever these things. Memories of Agil? Okay. He's already maxed out, so it doesn't matter, but there's no, like... Yeah, it doesn't even give me a quest quest marker or whatever for this, so it just says go to this dungeon and you'll figure it out.
決める。終わりだ。
すごい。やった
エネミーだ。終わりだ。
Face tanking a minigun. Definitely the right thing to do, right?
もっとやれるわ。
There's so many locked doors. What's with that? This way.
Hakken! 入った。君任された。お疲れ様。えい。えい。はい。任された。
うわレアアイテムだね。おめでとう。トレジャーボックスよ。
トレジャーボックスだ。
Light shield. Robot cable. Also, having Asuna in my party is really nice because she has the crit rate up and nanotech boost skills. And 7 doesn't have those. So so even though that they're both considered supports, they both have different enough skills that it's kind of nice to even have both of them.
エネミーだ。クリティカル倒した。終わりだ。
Oh, there we go. I was about to say, did I not
エネミーだ。
kill everything?
手を貸してくれ。クリティカル。
すごいわね。
終わりだ。
Why, hello there.
入った。はっ。
Not letting me aim at it.
終わりだ。
There we go.
やってみせる。これでどうだ。
And pretty much with this group, I almost don't really need to buff myself of the, well,
行くぞ。
they do the defense buff and the power buff for me. So I don't even need to use half of my buffs. Though honestly, with SMGs, the trigger happy level 3 is completely unnecessary because their reload time is so quick anyway.
これでどうだ。
Did I not activate this earlier? Huh, I guess not. That would have been nice.
これでどうだ。
私も頑張るから。
やってみせる。君任された。行くぞ。
Oh, and also 7 uses a minigun. Well, also Levere uses a minigun as well, which makes complete sense. Okay, so we're supposed to go forward.
ここが SBC 不流他にプレイヤーは見当たらないし
So if I do skip
私
events,
たちが一番ってね
what does that do for me? So,
なあ任された。
because as far as I'm aware, and how I think to get the different, at least one of the different endings, is that the first time that I beat the game, I chose to protect Kureha, and I think the other one is if you choose to protect Zaliska instead. And I'm kind of wondering when it's going to give me the prompt to do that.
注意して
やってみせる。
I wasn't even near that. Come on.
これでどうだ。
手額入った頑張ってるね頑張る
クリティカル。クリティカル。
Let's tear him apart.
いいペースねみんな頑張って
Because with the high dexterity and decent luck that I have now, I'm really tearing this guy apart. There we go. And he gives me Meteor Fall, which is like level 6, level 5.
すごい
Okay, so this way.
さあレイちゃんお母さんのところへ
And it even gives us 32,000 experience, even though that at this point, that's not really all that much. Because every level that I get now, I need like 700k now.
クエストクリアをみんなでお祝いしましょうクリアおめでと
Okay, let's skip those events, because we've already seen them. And now what? Because I'm not exactly sure at what point it's
ナイス
different.
ファイトあなたの最後の選択は正しかったと思うわ
おーい俺様も駆けつけてきてやったぜどうだ
Good thing they have skip event as an option, because there was one game that I had played in my childhood, the first Kingdom Hearts game. It didn't have skip cutscene in them, and there were a few bosses that had a 30-minute plus cutscene
プレイ
before
のお
them.
疲れ
So if you failed against that boss multiple times, that was extremely painful. Okay. Okay, so I need to go to the observatory now.
What どうしたんだい主役が抜け出しちゃダメだろ
What? It really just kicked me to the main menu? What? Alright. I don't remember that happening before. Unless, that might have been the time that it's like, go to Kirito mode
帰りなさいました
and whatnot. And I also did give my Arphasis a different outfit for once. This is an outfit that is from the Dissonance of the Nexus, so... And I like the look of it. So, what am I supposed to do? Oh, okay, just go outside. Alright.
いやあ調子はどう相変わらずラッキーなようだね
Well, people calling me lucky now that I actually raised my luck for once, actually is relatable, is applicable. So there's that. Wow, they're really making us go back. If we have to fight Kureha and the group again, I mean... And they generously allow me to put all of my buffs on again. So I think what I'm gonna do is, since this for the most part, seems to be all stuff that I have already done. That, is stop recording until, oh, Kreia is actually my level. But I think I'm gonna stop recording until we get to the point at which I think it's different. So, until then.